So I just finished watching Drunken Film School's So Bad They're Good Movies 101. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And they asked for comments, and shock of all shocks, I'm making video response. I know that's totally blowing you guys away right now because, it's so unusual for me to make video responses. But enjoy you guys' stuff so much that, hey, it deserves it. Basically, enjoyed the list, enjoyed the talk, and you asked, you asked me one question with my name in right in there, and you just ask if are the movies that are so bad they're good bad movies, or are the good movies? Both. Logan was pretty spot on with this. They're badly made movies. There's no doubt about it. They're badly made movies, and that's the thing. But if they have a charm that supersedes the fact that they're badly made films, that they entertain you, even though they're like crap, then it's good. It is so good they're bad. That's the perfect explanation. That's the perfect title for films like that. And I just got a list of a few more here that I think should be on there, and I think probably would have been on your, and might be on your 102 or 201 list, whoever you number your videos when you do like follow-ups. Anyway, I gotta say, Ed Wood gotta be on there. Plan 9 from Outer Space, it's a classic. Favorite scene for me for Plan 9 from Outer Space, there's a couple, but the one that stands out is I think it's Tor Johnson, is the police detective, and he's thinking hard about the crimes that are going on in the cemetery, and he's got the gun, like, scratching his head with it, and just imagine, like, this is like a gun, brilliant, just brilliant. And they went with that, that's the thing to go with. Or it's like when you watch Bride the Monster, and Tor Johnson goes through the door and just, like, hits the set, and it shakes, and you're like, well, damn, perfect, that's fantastic. Or the rubber octopus in that film. And you find, like, little classic gems in some of these movies. In the whole, not to be a downer on this, but in Bride the Monster, which is a classic, cheesy, horrible film, Bela Lugosi does a speech as a scientist, as kind of a mad scientist guy, talking about his homeland, and how he kind of taken out of it, how he couldn't be a part of it, and that separation. And it's actually a touching scene in an extremely bad movie. So you find this stuff in some of these things. But when you're talking about really bad movies, the ones that I think about personally, ones for me, well, The Room. Yeah. Probably the most entertaining bad movie that out there. Personally, it doesn't have a lot of action. It doesn't have a lot of plot. It has a guy that has an accent that is undiscernible because he's not like Schwarzenegger. He's not from one of those countries or something like that. So it makes no sense that he talks like this, but he does. And it's the whole, beautiful scenes. It's the whole, it's the Lisa, you're tearing me apart sequence. I love that. And, just classic lines that have no acting ability at all. It just goes from sequence to sequence saying stuff. Imagine, like, you could go through your life saying stuff and be no different between your angry, happy, upset, smiley face voice. He does it. And there's a classic scene on the when he goes into the rooftop after he's been accused of, like, hitting his girlfriend, which he hasn't done, and he's like really upset, and his friend is up there. His friend will be played by two actors in this film, by the way. He opens the door. He's like, "No, I did not hit her. I didn't do it. Oh, hi, Brian." It's just, there's no change at all in the film. It's so bad. If you guys haven't seen it, Logan, Nathan, watch The Room. Seriously, it defies logic. And it's entertaining. You don't need a mystery sign. It's a great riff tracks for it, I think. But when I watched it first, I watched it without the riff tracks. I watched it with the riff tracks afterwards. But I prefer to watch it without it because it is that bad that you don't need it. Manos, Hands of Fate is another one that, for me, personally, it's that bad that I don't need to have the Mystery Science Theater on. It's hilarious when I watch it, but when I'm with my friends and my cousins, stuff like that, we're sitting down, we're watching stuff like this, I'm making fun of it myself, and sometimes I feel that I do a better job, so yes. Beasts of Yucca Flats, Tor Johnson, another classic one. Nate's got all the Mystery Science Theater stuff, so you know all these films. You've seen them all. Uh, and if you've seen the early Mystery Science Theater box sets, you know that they put the movies in, like, you know, with the riffing and without. So you get to watch some of them. Some of them are pretty painful to watch without the riffing. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Excellent film when it comes to this type of stuff. Just so bad. So bad. I'm not sure if it's even good, but it is so bad. Even better yet, and this is one of my favorites for Mystery Science Theater and without Mystery Science Theater, is Santa Claus. It's a Mexican film. It was their first Christmas film, and as Santa Claus fighting Pitch, which I guess is, the way it looks is Satan's little helper type of thing. And according to this film, Santa lives in a terrifying place close to Merlin and has helpers that are about as free as the Oompa Loompas in Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. Yeah, they're slave kids. They're slave kids from all over the world, and they're horrible. You know, Troll 2, I love it. It's definitely a classic bad film, and it's not even troll. When you think about it, there's no trolls in the film. It's goblins. But I like they do, like Hollywood or do with a lot of movies, is that this movie is going to be more successful if they make it a sequel to something, even if it's not really a sequel to something, which is what they did. Same as they did with Rage, Carrie. That wasn't a sequel to Carrie. It was made into a sequel to Carrie. And the documentaries, you know, best worst movies, is so fun because you get to see the mindset and the whole, like, the cult happening that goes on behind these films. People start to have parties for this stuff. It's like, you know, back in the, you know, Rocky Horror Picture Show days. I love Rocky Horror Picture Show, and it's considered a cult classic. But many people consider it a so bad it's good movie. I consider it a genius movie, you know, in my personal opinion. And and Shock Treatment, the sequel, which everybody hated because it didn't have the same cast in it, and it wasn't the same film. But if I wanted to see Rocky Horror Picture Show again, I'd watch Rocky Horror Picture Show again. I like Shock Treatment for being Shock Treatment. Cheesy, kind of bad, but in a lot of cases, I like the cast just a little bit better, and that's surprising since I really, really like Frankenfurter. But it's a different type of film, and it's considered, in some cases, so bad it's good. Grease 2, a sequel to Grease. My cheesiness liked Grease 2 better, because hey, when you really think about it, Grease, you know, you get a classic soundtrack and stuff like that, but really, ending of Grease, the girl decides that the best thing to do, like, this is an awesome, like, message for young girls all over the place. If you want to have the man of your dreams, you completely change yourself so you're undiscernible to your personality. Really? And when it happens, your car will learn to fly. Your car will learn. You will have a great dance sequence, and your car will learn to fly, and you will fly off. Pretty terrifying when you think about it. They get together, and their car rockets off into the sky. They probably should have had that checked out, because, you know, I'm thinking maybe 5 minutes after we see the mangled wreckage of what was Sandy and Danny, you know, because cars don't fly, and nothing in Grease made it look like it was a fantasy film. So yeah, didn't work out good for Sandy and Danny. Car flew a couple miles. Anyway, that's my talk on bad films. If I had to give a top 3, I don't know if I could. I love bad films. I love films that are so bad they're good. And I love them because they're bad. As much as I love my Criterions and stuff like that, I've also got my Scream Factories and that. And some of the movies, I'm an 80s kid. I was a teen in the 80s, so I got lots of so bad they're good films. every week that I went to the store, it was so bad they're good films. I just wish that people today could get that experience of finding them. And you know, finding a movie on Netflix doesn't cut it. And you guys know, because you've been to the, you're, well, not as old as I am, but you're up there enough to remember the video stores. Can you think that the kids these days are going to go out and online is how they're going to find their films? There's not many store behind it, none of those things like, so I was out and we were bored and there's a bunch of us and went to the video store and we're looking at the stuff and the box looked awesome. We picked it up and went home, put it in, and it was hilarious, and we, just one of those great ones that stuff like that. Nowadays, like, I was looking at Netflix and the picture looked good, so I clicked on it and I watched it.
I didn't even have pictures.
Yeah, my better half lived in Morocco, and what they did was if they wanted to watch a film, they went to a place where they get five?
Well, whatever.
Around 4 or 5, whatever, VHS tapes. No names, no labels. Say, I like adventure, I like horror, stuff like that. And they give them this, here, watch these. Seriously. So they didn't know what they were getting, and that's amazing. I love that fact. You didn't know what you're getting when you go in there, so damn, that sounds fun. Thanks for watching there. If you haven't subscribed to Drunken Film School, do so. It's a great channel. They put on some great stuff, and they're very funny, and they work well together. And those guys are Logan Toxic. Check out his channel as well, and Blu-ray Anonymous, otherwise known as Nathan. Subscribe to both their channels. They do some great stuff. And if you're not subscribed to me, the Devil's Advocate, then click the like button, subscribe, and if you really, really like it, share it on Google Plus or Facebook, and muchly appreciated. I'm at 221, still trying to get to that 250, and then I'll look at contest time. Thanks for watching, guys, and for me right now, I've got to finish off my studying, though I'm feeling pretty good about it right now, and have my drink, because it is time for tea.